Welcome to the Mucked Up My Self-Care podcast.
I'm Jill from New York.
And I'm Linda from Tasmania.
We are two moms from opposite sides of the world who are living, demonstrating, and helping moms across the world build their self-care asset bank.
Ready to dive in? Messy, interrupted, imperfect, and most of all mucked up. Let's get going.
Hello. Good morning. Good evening.
Good morning. Good evening. It's been a day. Your week's just beginning.
Yes.
Big week. Huge week for you. Huge week for you. As we're recording this, you're setting up ready for the beginning of the school adventure.
Yes. Well, with that in mind, we would like to start some highs and lows because we obviously know what one of mine is going to be.
Why don't you get started?
Yeah. Okay. As we have some sound effects in the background today, probably, but okay, highs and lows. I think it's just going to be both high and low, revolving around starting school because we're coming off of last bits of summer vacation stuff as we prepare. I still have no information about what school's going to be like, and I won't until Wednesday when they do orientation, and then school starts Thursday, which does not give me a whole lot of time in between to wrap my head around things. So
digest, process.
Yeah, and even go run to the store and buy last minute school supplies. So Wednesday will be a fun day, I think. Declan will get to meet a whole bunch of new friends that he'll make in his class, and he's very nervous about starting a new school and new people as he's screaming no at me in the background because he does not want to do it. And the one really great thing that I'm excited about is that it's technically behind our house, the school, so we get to walk, and it'll be a 5-minute walk depending on which entrance we need to go into. It might be a 7 to 10-minute walk on the other entrance, but either way, it means that I don't have to drive him to school anymore. We can just walk.
There's a massive difference for me when the boys all of a sudden were riding themselves, and then we're going to start it all again next year.
Yeah,
where Quinn will be walking down, but I'll be walking with him. He's still too little to walk on his own.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to being forced to walk every day and choosing to walk him instead of drive him. So I think it'll be good for both of us. But yeah, lots of feelings revolving around starting school. So those are my highs and lows. What about for you, Linda?
Low for me is definitely our internet has been out of action since Saturday, I think. Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. It's all been a bit of a blur. So about 3 or 4 days, we have no internet at all at home, only off my phone, and stuff's piling up. And I'm itching to keep posting blogs and uploading other things. I've got end of month reporting to do. I've got work commitments, client commitments, and just getting a bit of itchy feet. So, and the kids are feeling it too. Just little things where they'll usually go and put some headphones on and listen to some music, and they can't do that right now. So that's getting everyone a little bit more heightened. So, yes, hi. I think, goodness, it shouldn't be this hard. I am wrapped up in the internet issue for the minute, obviously, with recording and everything like that tonight. So I think a high for me would be just watching the kids today at Kinder Gym and their agility and just full force climbing, running, jumping, running, rolling, sliding, just everything at once. So that was pretty cool. And a good rainy day activity too, because we've had a lot of rain. The garden's going to go berserk at the end of it. It's like, oh my gosh.
That late
Get
fall.
prepped now. Mhm.
Late fall
Prepare
spurt for
myself
rain.
now. Oh, yes. Yep. So, speaking of highs, lows, and all those things, we wanted to talk around the topic of good mums and self-care today, based on a discussion we had on Clubhouse a little while ago about the question came up, do you feel comfortable getting told you're a good mum? And do you remember the Clubhouse discussion a little bit?
I am trying to remember, but I don't know if I remember the Clubhouse discussion or just because I talk about it in my book about that phrase being said to me quite frequently. So it's ingrained in my head, my feelings on it.
Yep. Would you like to share?
Oh, sure. Well,
Did you want to share from your book?
it'd take me a minute to find out where it is, but I can paraphrase from the book at least.
I'm sorry for the background noise. I just dropped everything while I tried to reach across.
All good. So I had friends from church that from the time that they found out that I was pregnant till even still, every conversation is this beautiful woman that I'm friends with, Sylvia, tells me every conversation that we have that how good of a mom I am, that I'm a good mom. Mm-hmm. And I believe her now, but it took a long time to get to this point where I did believe her. And when I was pregnant, they said, you're going to be a great mom. You're going to be a good mom. All the time. My baby shower they came to, and they had so many well wishes and affirmed it then. And I was like, yeah. You guys have no idea. We don't know yet. I'm sure I'll be a good mom, but didn't really take it to heart in how that they were just saying it is what I believed. But they had a belief that I did not believe in yet. I'm trying to think of even when it was. Oop, turn that on, bud. But it took like a good 2 years for me to finally believe it. And I questioned them. I was like, yeah, could you imagine what you actually saw behind my closed doors? I am not a good mom. Like, I can't believe you would even think this. And now it's funny because most of the time when I end up talking to them and they do say that, it's the days that I need to hear it. So it'll take me a minute to find it in the book, but I don't have it right away. So.
I wanted to share something that I came across the other day. I was in the supermarket with 3 of the 4 children, and it had been raining. The little one was ready for a nap. Quinn was wanting every single sugar-coated thing he could possibly set his eyes on, as well as watermelon on top of blueberries, on top of everything else possible. And so I had one trying to climb out of the trolley, the other one screaming, and the other one just to the side, I think, trying to just manage it all. And I saw someone that I know, just don't know her well, just know, and she's like, you're doing a great job. And I actually turned around and said, no, I'm not. Like, I'm going crazy. I'm stressed, quite stressed about going to the supermarket with 3 children right now. And it is not my favorite place, usually, generally. That's why I do boot pickups and deliveries and all of the other things if I have a chance, but no internet, all the rest of the things just didn't quite happen. But I was reminded very quickly of why I don't like being in the supermarket with children who want every single thing in sight. Yes. Practicing my no.
I'm glad you were doing that. Last week we were at the skate park and there was a mom with 3 boys, probably like under 5, maybe under 6, something like that. And they were trying to leave. And I know how hard it is to get Declan to leave the skate park, so I can't imagine 3 boys in my own hands getting them to try to leave. But I could see her struggle, and I just said, I don't know how you do it. And I struggle with just one. And she's like, oh, I am not okay. Like, I know you're feeling. I mean, I don't know it to the extent times 3, but I know you're feeling like,
But so often we're told that we're good when we don't feel like we are. Or we're told that we're okay when we're actually not. And that can be very confusing. And that can be quite demoralizing, I think, as well, to be told you're feeling something when actually, no, that's not what I'm feeling or experiencing right now. Please don't think that I'm okay, because I'm not okay. I'm not doing great, actually, right now, in this very second moment. So how have you felt in those situations when perhaps you've not had the understanding? Like, obviously, you saw the other mum with the 3 and you were a little bit more understanding and saying, I don't know how you do it, which is very different to saying, hey, you're doing great and well done and you're a good mum.
Like, so, I'm super appreciative of her being honest, saying, I'm not. Like, this is a struggle. At the end, I'm like, okay, good. I know I'm not alone. And I don't know what it's like for you. But I'm not afraid to say it out loud that, today is not a good day. This is, I guess the other part of it is when other people say, oh, you're going to miss these days. And I'm like, I'm not going to miss this. I'm going to miss his size and the moments we have. Yes. But I'm not going to miss whatever is happening right now. This is ridiculous. Which I think is why we need self-care. So we can get a little bit of that breath back in us when we've used it all in our energy when we aren't doing okay, because it's a lot happening around us. Like now.
It's so wonderfully common for us to compare ourselves as well, or try to cover up what we're really seeing in front of us. And the lady that I bumped into in the supermarket, she doesn't have any kids. She doesn't have the same experiences that I do. So maybe it did look like I was doing great to her. Maybe it did. Maybe it's just that simple. You don't know what you don't know. You can only meet someone where they're at. And if they don't have kids at all, well, maybe. However, I know in the past, at times, it's been hard to say, you know what? Actually, no, I'm not okay. I'm not good. I'm not good right now. And when I've been in those situations where I haven't felt like I can speak honestly, that's when a lot of comparisons and judgments and they're trying to live up to the superhero image have wrestled in my brain. Yeah.
Yeah. And when we're comparing ourselves to others in that stance, are we looking, like we talked about this too in the past, but looking towards, who do we look up to as moms? Is that our own moms, other moms that we see out there living their lives? Like, who are we comparing it to? Like, I know, since I have the Hulk by me, I with you and I, Linda, I don't know how you do it with 4 people, with 4 kids and raising them and doing all the things that you do. I will sometimes compare myself. Like, I have just one. I can't be like Linda. I don't know how she's doing it.
Yeah.
But there's so much difference between the two of us. Can I honestly compare myself to you? But then, you know, when I compare myself to my mom, like maybe it's a little bit more comparable because, you know, I came from her. So yeah, I'm doing like a bang up jump just like my mom did with me and my sister, I think. Like, I think we're doing great compared to what I grew up with also.
Yeah. Yeah. It's hard not to compare because I think we need that sometimes to help us understand more of who we are and what matters to us at the same time. I know that really you and I might have 2 very different definitions of what is a good mum anyway. A good mum could just be getting it through the day sometimes, or making sure I remember to eat lunch, or
is everybody alive and breathing at the end of the day? I'm a good mom. Thank you.
yeah, accepting a compliment.
Yeah.
Getting bashed by the Hulk. Like, so many things. So it's really hard, I think, to box it up into a definition. And good mum does sound quite raw. She was good timing, thanks, Declan.
Yeah. I think even the phrase good mom can be very controversial because who's to say what's good and bad? Like you say, like we all have different definitions. And how dare someone say I'm a my mic's still here.
So you're a bad. It muted right when he said bad mom.
Exactly.
So how dare someone say it? And then he muted you. So hilarious.
But I think it's worth talking it out and us all understanding that we all have different views on what that can be interpreted as a good mom.
Yeah.
But there's and it reminds me of this one book that is out there, and it's not that it's really related, but the use of good moms, and it's good moms have scary thoughts. And it's a postpartum book of, going through all the intrusive thoughts and things that happen after having a baby. And our thoughts don't define us of being a good or a bad mom. And I think that comes down to a lot of the things that we can get through each day with. Our children all have different energy levels and needs. And oh, you're back to Declan. Good. Attentive needs. We're just surviving some days. So that's still good. Like the days that we're just surviving or the days that we're thriving, we're good either way.
And we're learning a lot as well. And I think it's really recognizing ourselves as good or tired or whatever other feeling that we can actually describe, which can help us.
Let's pick a different adjective.
Well, it can help us validate ourselves in a way and whatever else is going on for us. So, yeah.
Yeah. So just the self-care that we get in, because I don't think that having a consistent self-care routine or practices or whatever you want to say makes us good moms then. But I think sets us up to be good today, if that makes sense. Like, I think if we get a little bit of self-care in, it's just like, okay, we're good. We got this. And I think it's more of a pumping up kind of a, we got this, I'm good, and not good or bad, if that kind of resonates with anybody too.
Yeah. It's interesting because I read something the other day that one of the hardest human traits to live by or values to uphold is consistency. It's actually one of the hardest things for a human being to do. You stay consistent.
Who knew? Maybe that's why it's so hard to create a new habit, especially a good habit.
Yes.
Well, I will have to say we've been pretty consistent with a few things, and it's showing. And one being this podcast, Linda, one being your self-care of fitness and being out in nature. I think my self-care, like top fives, are being really consistent also. So I think all of these things are showing a little bit of goodness for each of us. And it's kind of, it's hard. It took us 1.5 years to get all
still going
this far, and it's not done. So yes, consistency is hard.
Yeah.
So, but in a village with a group of people in a community, it's you have a little bit more accountability and ease to getting into those routines.
Exactly. Yeah. And we'd love to hear how you're going with all of that as well.
Yeah.
Especially if you've been listening along for a while or listened to a few different episodes and what you think about the phrase being a good mum or what that good mums and self-care means to you. So you can email us, which all the details will be in the show notes. And we'd love to open up a conversation and hear from anybody listening along.
Yes. Well, and Linda, until next week,
we hope you can unstuck your muck.
Bye.
Bye.